Hi, it's another episode of Hot Culture. I'm Monique, and this is Ashley. And today we're talking about what everybody else has been talking about. No, not Manti Teo,
Yeah, no, nobody cares about that.
but we're talking
Seriously.
about Lance Armstrong and his
Mm,
huge doping scandal that he talked about on the OWN network with Oprah Winfrey. Um, it was, it's been a strange couple of days, I would,
yeah.
I would say. Um, what are your first thoughts?
Well, I haven't really been following it because I don't really watch the news a lot. Like, I read news. I just hate news channels with a passion. Anyway, um, so the most exposure I've gotten to it was last night when we were watching Anderson Cooper 360,
Mm-hmm.
and they were going through bits of the interview showing us sound bites or pieces of the video, whatever terms you
Sound
use.
bites.
Um, and they had a panel because that's what CNN and everybody else loves to do is get a whole bunch of people to say stuff, which that's a whole nother. And then they had the wife of his former teammate Betsy something, and she
Andrew.
hates him like, oh my gosh, that lady hates him. So yeah, I got to see some more stuff last night, and the thing that weirded me out the most is that Lance just seems so like cool with everything. Like there was a part in the video where he kind of teared up, but the whole time he was just kind of like, "Yeah, this is terrible, and I'll give apologies when people want them." Apologies is not an apology is not really the currency of this kind of thing. Like that's not what you need to be worried about right now, or if you can compete ever again. Like okay, let me just back up. The first thing that got on my nerves about his attitude was he kept saying, "I don't see why I deserve a death penalty instead of just um, the regular stuff that everybody else gets." Lance, you repeatedly lied to people. Somebody sued you for this, and you basically destroyed his life. Like this is more than just I doped up and now I got caught. This is I doped and I kept doing it and I lied about it and I like Betsy kept saying I kept stealing the spotlight for like so many years and I was the face of the bicycling nation. I was the face of cancer survival and I had all these followers and
And
all
I
these
sued people
endorsements.
for saying I was doping.
I sued people for saying I was doping even though I knew I was doping, and now I'm getting caught and now my whole world is shattering and now um, everything sucks.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you can't compete ever again. Okay? Like, and even if you had just doped and you got caught, still, why do you think you deserve to compete anymore? You cheated. It's
Right.
cheating. Not only did you cheat, but you cheated and won, like, for so many years and lied. You don't deserve to say, because he even said, I think I deserve to be able to compete. No, you don't.
No.
You hardly deserve to be on TV talking about yourself forever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's you don't deserve to compete. And poor Anderson was trying to justify the relevance of triathlons because that's apparently what Lance wants to do. First of all, nobody was going to care about your triathlons anyway. You can compete in some local ones if you want and people don't care about you being there, but you do not deserve to have any kind of attention for sports ever. You cheated times 1,000, okay? Like what's wrong with you? Second of all, he's talking about, oh, I lost $75 million. dollars. And we talked about this yesterday.
Right.
I've lost $75 million dollars in future earnings. Lance, you have a lot of money. You have a lot of money, okay? You've earned millions, billions, I don't even know how many billions of dollars over the years. You are smart enough to have invested those funds so that you will be set for, a long time. Okay, I'm sure you got stuff in stocks. They're not gonna drop your stocks because you're you. It's money. You still got enough to work with.
Mm-hmm.
And then we LOL'd at Oprah because she was just like, 75 million, pocket change, But and as Betsy was saying, 75 million is nothing compared to the millions the rest of the athletes did not get to win because he was dominating. Like you've
Mm-hmm.
made your fortune, Lance. Don't even worry about your future stuff. You have enough. Don't even put money in this like it's what matters. It's not. You lied. Like And then the fact that he just seemed so calm about it all. No tears were shed, and even if they were insincere tears, at least tears would have made people feel like he actually was sad about it, you know? Because that's what people do, okay? For those who don't know, people who come out with these huge secrets, they're told to like cry and stuff. This is just how the world works, okay? You fake cry, you fake this, you fake that. So at least people will feel like you care. So he just didn't seem like he really grasped it all. And he's like, yeah, maybe I can regain some fans at some point. No, sir. No, sir. You will never regain fans. You have effectively wasted your entire life lying. That is your legacy. You're a big liar. That is your legacy, my friend. You need to deal with that. And I know you said you're in therapy. We don't know who's paying for this therapy if you're so financially unstable now, which you're not. I
think the only way he can come back is since he's in therapy, is if he decides to admit that he has some type of, or that he's diagnosed with some type of mental disorder. Because it seems like watching the interview, it's like he understands that he did wrong, but he doesn't truly understand why so many people are upset. It's like he knows on the surface that he should understand that he did a bad thing, but it's almost
because he got caught.
Right.
If he hadn't gotten caught, I highly doubt he would have ever come clean.
Right. To some people, he might seem like he's only sad about getting caught, and the way that he was looking is like you can tell that he said himself, it's a process that he's trying to work through to where he can fully understand why people are upset.
And if you were truly remorseful about your actions and you truly knew like how bad your actions were, it wouldn't be a process. You wouldn't have to be like, well, I need to figure out why everybody hates me. No, like you would already know it was wrong. You would already immediately feel the devastation of your life crumbling around you. You would already feel it. But if you're so wrapped up in yourself and you are like your best friend in the worst possible way, you know what I'm saying? Like you're that in your own world and you think you're so invincible and you think everything you did was great and everything like that, like, dude.
Right. And of course,
please, I'm not run to therapy. Please.
To avoid any kind of lawsuits or anything. I'm not saying he has a mental disorder. I'm just saying if something like that happened to where he could come back on television and say, I had this problem, then I guess that's probably what I should have said. That if he says that I have this problem and I'm working through it, and it's a problem that people can get behind and say, oh, I have this problem too. I'm glad through your tragedy you made it known about this problem.
However, I don't think any problem would excuse continuous lying and cover-ups. Like, you'd have to be schizophrenic and be like, I did not know. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, y'all already know he's going to try to get a book deal. He's going to get a book deal. Okay? If Arnold Schwarzenegger got one for absolutely no reason, absolutely no one, maybe like 1% of the population wanted to know about his affairs, I surely don't want to know anything about his bedroom activities at all. Like, seriously. That's not something I need to know, because you can't unsee that stuff. It's horrible. But he's probably going to get a book deal and talk about the horrors of hiding and how painful it was to hide. And I think he just needs to, like, he should have just issued some sort of public apology.
Right.
Going on Oprah, like we said last night, that was a tactic. That's how you know this guy has a good team behind him who are trying to spin this in some other way.
To sympathy.
Right. Because Oprah, as I said last night, that's where you get a lot of sympathy. Because they even seem like they shoot it in soft focus. So you're like, oh, this is a heartwarming story of triumph against adversity. You already come in thinking like that because it's Oprah. You come in thinking that way. And if you don't think you do, think back to every major interview you've seen with Oprah. You're always like, wow, this is going to be really, really impactful to my life. I need to pay attention. That's how you feel. Now, she was a little bit colder during this interview, which, good job, Oprah, for recognizing the crazy that you were sitting next to. But yeah, they were trying to spin it, that way. Because if he had come on like CNN or Tamron Hall's show, she would have killed him.
Yeah.
She would have assaulted him verbally. Like, seriously, that girl does not play. Does not play around. And a lot of the other anchors on these major networks, they ask the tough questions and they don't even care about your feelings.
Yeah, like if he was on Piers Morgan, that would have been hilarious.
He would have been ripped to shreds. Which might have been better, to be honest, because then we would at least feel a little bit of like, oh yeah, somebody got him,
And
but
we
he's
might
still
be able
untouchable.
to see more of him, more of his mental processes.
Yeah, and he wouldn't have had time to like decide what he wasn't going to answer. Like he did with that one question that was personal. I'm not going to touch that. I'm not going to approach it. I'm going to put it down. I'm going to put it down. Who says that? I'm going to put it down. You're going to euthanize it? Like, put it out of its misery? Oh, question. You don't deserve to live. Like, anyway.
In short, personally, I've never been an Armstrong fan.
Me either.
I mean, I've used the Livestrong website many times, but
I just don't like capitalizing off of that thing, off of something like that. I don't think that's necessarily right to capitalize in that way.
Right.
Off of it.
But I guess it's just kind of sad for other people who have worn the bracelets and have gone to all the Livestrong things, and
everything you've learned is a lie.
Have invested tons of money in it.
I mean, he did survive though.
Yeah, I mean that's commendable. Like the idea behind it is commendable, but just the fact that you have this guy who wins all of these Tour de France's, you think he's a great athlete, although personally I had suspicions before. And people look up to him, and then for this to come out that he's basically lied to everyone. Mm-hmm. Even people even though, like I said, I'm not a fan, but it's just like, wow, that's terrible. You still feel a little bit betrayed because you're like, he's in the public sphere, and sure, it doesn't mean that they're gonna be role models, but you're just like, if you're trying to set this example, and then you yourself aren't even living up to that example. So, whatever. I mean, I hope he eventually learns from it. Like, I hope his therapy sessions help him. Mm-hmm. Because obviously he needs somebody to help him with this huge problem. Because it's a problem that obviously goes back even further than just him doping. Like, why was he doping? Like, someone should ask.
Yeah, why couldn't he just compete?
Yeah. Like, that's the real question I think somebody should ask, is what is the
probably a good athlete without it.
Yeah, I mean, he had to have been, but why add that extra fuel?
And how do you not get caught? How are you that clever with the way that you dope? Like, do you just have to pay off everyone?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that need to be addressed.
I don't know a lot about doping, so I don't know. But hopefully this story goes away after a while, because if this rides too long, it's going to give him popularity he doesn't deserve.
So, catch us again here at the Moniqueblog YouTube channel. You can watch our other Hot Culture episodes. You can watch our other Downcast episodes, and you can check my writing out on TV Equals, where I recap Deception, The Neighbors. I used to recap The Mob Doctor when it was on, and
oh my gosh,
and Chicago Fire, which also has commentary from my dad, who is a fire chief. So you can check out my stuff there at TV Equals. You can go to moniqueblog.net. You can go to Facebook at Moniqueblog and Twitter at Moniqueblog.net.
And check out our Zazzle store. I don't know the URL, but we have cool stuff that you might want to buy.
For instance, you can... Oops. Whoa, that's backwards. It comes up backwards on here.
I don't know if you can see. It is backwards because this is like a weird mirror effect. But it says, I am not a stereotype. And it's a pin. You can put it on your clothes or your whatever, jackets or your backpack or whatever. We also have t-shirts with this. Some other messages on t-shirts. And some other cool stuff.
So check out our store at Zazzle, and all of those links will be below in the box. So goodbye for now.